Welcome to Worldwide Truth Ecumenical Movement, a space where ancient truth meets present understanding, where spirituality is not divided by systems, and where we explore the deeper connection between the mind, the body, and divine reality. This is not religion. This is not tradition without understanding. This is truth, uncovered, aligned, and lived. And today, we are stepping into something that bridges ancient prayer and modern science in a way most people have never considered. Before you dismiss what you're about to hear as just another spiritual idea, before you label this as tradition, religion, or something symbolic, I want you to consider a possibility. What if something ancient, something spoken thousands of years ago, is not just spiritual, but biological? What if the sounds you speak every morning are not just words, but instructions? Instructions that your body can hear, your brain can process, and your entire nervous system can respond to. Because modern science is beginning to uncover something that ancient practices have always known. Sound is not passive. Sound is active. It moves, it shapes, it influences, and more importantly, it transforms. Now think about this carefully. Every single day you are already speaking. You are already thinking. You are already repeating internal patterns. But most of those patterns are unconscious. You wake up, and your mind immediately starts running. Thoughts about yesterday, concerns about today, worries about what might happen. And before you even realize it, your body has already responded. Your heart rate shifts, your breathing changes, your nervous system becomes activated, not because anything has physically happened yet, but because of what you are thinking. Now imagine this. If your thoughts alone can trigger a biological response, what happens when you introduce intentional sound? Not random words, not uncontrolled thinking, but a focused, repeated, rhythmic vibration. This is where everything begins to change. Because across neuroscience, psychology, and medical research, there is growing evidence that repetition, especially vocal repetition, physically alters the brain. This is known as neuroplasticity. Your brain is not fixed, it is not static. It is constantly rewiring itself based on what you repeat, what you focus on, what you emotionally reinforce. So if someone repeats fear long enough, their brain becomes efficient at fear. If someone repeats stress long enough, their body becomes conditioned to stress. But if repetition can wire fear, it can also rewire it. And this is where ancient prayer steps in, not as ritual, but as technology. Because when a sound is repeated rhythmically, with intention, with breath, with awareness, it does something very specific to your nervous system. It begins to regulate it. It begins to slow it down. It begins to bring it out of survival mode and into coherence. This is not theory. This is measurable. Slow, rhythmic vocalization has been shown to stimulate the vagus nerve, a key part of your body that controls calmness, emotional regulation, and recovery from stress. So when you chant, when you repeat a sound slowly, your breathing deepens, your heart rate stabilizes, your mind becomes quieter, and your body shifts from tension into alignment. Now let's go deeper, because not all sounds are experienced the same way. Certain sounds, especially those that are extended, breath-based, and vibrational, create stronger resonance within the body. For example, sounds like ah or ooh naturally engage your breath. They slow your exhale. They create vibration in your chest, your throat, even your skull. And that vibration is not meaningless. It is physical. Your body feels it, your nervous system responds to it, and your brain begins to associate that sound with a state of calm, a state of focus, a state of awareness. Now think about the name Yahweh. When spoken slowly, it is not just a word, it is breath. Yahweh. It naturally extends your breathing. It naturally slows your rhythm. It naturally creates vibration. So when someone repeats it intentionally, they are not just saying something spiritual, they are engaging their entire system. Their breath aligns, their mind focuses, their body responds, and over time, through repetition, their brain begins to associate that sound with a specific state: calm, clarity, presence. This is how conditioning works, not through force, but through repetition. Now here's where it becomes even more powerful, because your brain does not just respond to sound, it builds patterns around it. If every morning you wake up and immediately enter a state of anxiety, your brain begins to expect that. It becomes your default. But if every morning you wake up and intentionally enter a state of calm, through breath, through sound, through repetition, your brain begins to expect that instead. You are literally training your system, not just mentally, but physically. And over time, that state becomes easier to access, faster to return to, more natural to remain in. This is what people experience as peace, not something external, but something practiced, something reinforced, something built into the system. Now let's be clear about something important. Chanting a word, even a sacred one, is not magic. It does not override reality. It does not instantly erase all problems. But what it does do is change how your system responds to reality, and that changes everything. Because when your mind is calm, you think differently. When your body is regulated, you respond differently. When your thoughts are clear, you decide differently. And those differences create new outcomes. So what may feel like a spiritual practice is also a psychological and biological process. You are training your attention. You are regulating your nervous system. You are reinforcing a state of clarity and presence. And when this is done consistently, it becomes part of you. Now imagine starting your day like this. Before checking your phone, before reacting to the world, before letting external noise take over your mind, you take a few minutes to breathe, to slow down, to repeat a sound intentionally, to bring your system into alignment. You are not escaping reality. You are preparing for it. And that preparation sets the tone for everything that follows, because how you begin your day shapes how you experience your day. If you begin in chaos, you carry chaos. If you begin in clarity, you carry clarity. This is why morning practices are so powerful. Not because of the ritual itself, but because of the state it creates and the state it reinforces. Now here is the deeper truth. What you repeat daily, you become familiar with. What you become familiar with feels natural, and what feels natural becomes your identity. So if every day you practice calm, calm becomes natural. If every day you practice awareness, awareness becomes natural. And over time, you no longer feel like you are trying to be different. You simply are. This is what real transformation looks like. Not sudden, not forced, but consistent, gradual, built through repetition. So the next time you hear someone speak about chanting or repeating a sacred name, don't just think of it as tradition. Understand the mechanism. Understand what is happening beneath the surface. Because when you combine intention, breath, sound, and consistency, you are engaging one of the most powerful systems in your body, your brain's ability to change. And when your brain changes, your perception changes. When your perception changes, your experience changes. And when your experience changes, your life begins to shift. And if this opened your perspective, if this helped you see something in a new way, I want you to do something simple. Type in the comments, I align my mind. Because awareness is the first step, but alignment is what sustains it. And if you want to go deeper into understanding your mind, your patterns, and how to consciously reshape them, stay connected. Because this is just the beginning. This is worldwide truth ecumenical movement, where ancient wisdom meets understanding and understanding becomes transformation. Take care of your mind, because your life follows it.